Welcome to the world of the Russian Bratva, a realm of power, loyalty, and deception. In this animated journey, we'll delve into the inner workings of this notorious organization, exploring what it's like to be every Russian Bratva rank. From the lowly newcomer to the feared leader, we'll examine the hierarchy, the rituals, and the code of conduct that governs this secretive world. The Russian Bratva, also known as the Russian Mafia, has its roots in the Soviet era, when organized crime groups began to flourish in the shadows of a crumbling empire. Over time, these groups evolved into a complex network of criminals, with their own rules, rituals, and hierarchy. The Bratva is known for its ruthless tactics, its ability to corrupt and infiltrate, and its unwavering loyalty to its members. But what is it like to be part of this world, to climb the ranks and earn the respect of your comrades? Let's start at the bottom, with the novices, the new recruits who are eager to prove themselves. These young men, often from disadvantaged backgrounds, are drawn to the Bratva by promises of wealth, power, and protection. They're given menial tasks, such as running errands, providing security, or collecting debts. But as they prove themselves, they're gradually introduced to more complex and lucrative operations. They're taught the code of conduct, the rules of engagement, and the importance of loyalty and discretion. As they rise through the ranks, they become known as Shestyorka, or junior members. At this stage, they're given more responsibility, more autonomy, and more access to the organization's inner workings. They're introduced to the concept of krish, or the code of silence, which dictates that members must never betray their comrades or reveal the organization's secrets to outsiders. They're also taught the art of negotiation, the importance of building relationships, and the value of strategic alliances. But with each promotion, the stakes grow higher, and the risks become more pronounced. The Bratva is a world of violence, intimidation, and corruption, where members must be prepared to do whatever it takes to protect their interests and their comrades. They must navigate a complex web of rivalries, allegiances, and power struggles, all while maintaining a facade of legitimacy and respectability. They must also contend with the constant threat of law enforcement, who are determined to dismantle the organization and bring its leaders to justice. As we move up the ranks, we encounter the senior members, the brigadiers, who have earned the respect and admiration of their comrades. These individuals have proven themselves in battle, have demonstrated their loyalty and dedication, and have risen to positions of power and influence. They're responsible for overseeing operations, managing resources, and making strategic decisions that affect the entire organization. They're also expected to mentor and guide junior members, to teach them the ways of the Bratva, and to help them navigate the complex and often treacherous landscape. But even at the highest levels, there are rules to be followed, rituals to be observed, and a code of conduct to be upheld. The Bratva is a world of tradition and hierarchy, where members are expected to show respect and deference to their superiors. They must attend meetings, participate in ceremonies, and engage in rituals that reinforce their loyalty and commitment to the organization. They must also be prepared to make sacrifices, to put the interests of the Bratva above their own, and to defend their comrades to the death. At the very top of the hierarchy, we find the leaders, the vorvi zakwan, or thieves-in-law, who have earned the ultimate respect and admiration of their peers. These individuals have risen to the pinnacle of power, have demonstrated their cunning, their intelligence, and their ruthlessness. They're the ones who make the key decisions, who set the overall strategy, and who dictate the direction of the organization. They're the ones who must balance the competing interests of different factions, who must navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries, and who must ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of the Bratva. In this world of power, loyalty, and deception, the lines between right and wrong are constantly blurred. The Bratva is a realm of moral ambiguity, where members must be prepared to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. They must be willing to bend the rules, to break the law, and to sacrifice their own interests for the greater good of the organization. But as we explore this world, we'll also see the human side of the Bratva, the personal struggles, the emotional conflicts, and the moral dilemmas that its members face every day. As we continue on this journey, we'll meet the characters, the personalities, and the archetypes that inhabit this world. We'll see the ruthless leaders, the cunning strategists, and the ruthless enforcers. We'll meet the corrupt officials, the compromised lawmen, and the innocent bystanders who get caught up in the crossfire. We'll explore the cities, the towns, and the villages that are home to the Bratva, and we'll see the impact that this organization has on the people and the communities that it touches. The Russian Bratva is a complex, multifaceted, and often contradictory world, full of paradoxes and surprises. It's a world of contrasts, where luxury and poverty coexist, where violence and loyalty are intertwined, and where the pursuit of power and wealth is relentless. As we delve deeper into this world, we'll see the inner workings of the Bratva, the rituals, the codes, and the traditions that govern its behavior. We'll explore the history, the culture, and the mythology of this organization, and we'll examine the social, economic, and political context in which it operates. In the following segments, we'll take a closer look at each of the Bratva ranks, from the lowest to the highest. We'll examine the responsibilities, the challenges, and the opportunities that come with each position, and we'll see how members navigate the complex web of relationships, alliances, and rivalries that define this world. We'll also explore the rituals, the ceremonies, and the code of conduct that governs the Bratva, and we'll see how members balance their loyalty to the organization with their own personal interests and ambitions. Join us on this journey into the heart of the Russian Bratva, and discover the secrets, the mysteries, and the surprises that lie within. As we delve deeper into the inner workings of the Bratva, we find ourselves at the threshold of the Bryak, a mid-ranking position that demands unwavering loyalty and unrelenting ambition. At this level, members are no longer considered mere novices, but rather established figures within the organization, with a reputation to uphold and a name to make for themselves. The Bryak is a master of manipulation, navigating the complex web of alliances and rivalries that define the Bratva's hierarchy. They must be calculating and cunning, always staying one step ahead of their peers and adversaries alike. To succeed as a Bryak, one must possess a unique blend of charm and ruthlessness, able to inspire loyalty in their subordinates, while instilling fear in their enemies. It is a delicate balancing act, one that requires a deep understanding of the Bratva's code of conduct and the nuances of its internal politics. As we explore the world of the Bryak, we begin to appreciate the intricate dance of power and deception that underlies every interaction, every decision, and every move. It is a world where allegiances are forged and broken with ease, where the line between friend and foe is constantly blurred, and where the stakes are always high. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Bryak's role is their involvement in the Bratva's various business ventures. From extortion and racketeering to money laundering and arms trafficking, the Bryak is often at the forefront of these operations, using their charisma and cunning to negotiate deals, settle disputes, and eliminate potential threats. They are the face of the Bratva, the public persona that hides the true nature of the organization's activities. And yet, despite their importance, the Bryak remains a relatively low-ranking position within the overall hierarchy, a reminder that there is always room for advancement, and always a higher rung to climb. As we ascend the ranks, we come to the Mladshi, a junior captain who has earned the respect and admiration of their peers. At this level, members have typically spent several years honing their skills, building their reputation, and proving their loyalty to the organization. The Mladshi is a seasoned veteran, with a deep understanding of the Bratva's inner workings and a proven track record of success. They are responsible for overseeing various aspects of the organization's operations, from recruitment and training to strategy and planning. The Mladshi is a leader, a mentor, and a role model, guiding their subordinates with a firm but fair hand and inspiring them to strive for greatness. But the Mladshi's position is not without its challenges. As a junior captain, they must navigate the treacherous waters of Bratva politics, balancing the competing interests of various factions and alliances. They must be able to think on their feet, making quick decisions and adapting to changing circumstances with ease. And they must always be mindful of their own reputation, careful to avoid any mistakes or missteps that could tarnish their image or jeopardize their position. It is a high-wire act, one that requires precision, agility, and a deep understanding of the Bratva's complex social dynamics. As we continue our journey through the ranks of the Bratva, we come to the Starshi, a senior captain who has reached the pinnacle of their career. At this level, members have earned the respect and admiration of their peers, and have typically accumulated a significant amount of wealth, power, and influence. The Starshi is a master strategist, with a deep understanding of the Bratva's overall goals and objectives. They are responsible for overseeing the organization's long-term plans, identifying new opportunities and threats, and making key decisions that will shape the future of the Bratva. The Starshi is a true leader, a visionary who has earned the right to shape the destiny of the organization. And yet, despite their exalted position, the Starshi is not immune to the dangers and uncertainties of the Bratva. They must always be mindful of potential threats, both from within and outside the organization. They must navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defines the Bratva's hierarchy, balancing the competing interests of various factions and avoiding any mistakes or missteps that could jeopardize their position. It is a delicate balancing act, one that requires precision, cunning, and a deep understanding of the Bratva's internal politics. As we explore the world of the Starshi, we begin to appreciate the true nature of power and leadership within the organization, and the immense responsibilities that come with it. The world of the Bratva is a complex and fascinating place, full of intrigue, deception, and surprise. As we delve deeper into its inner workings, we begin to appreciate the intricate social dynamics that govern the organization, and the various roles and responsibilities that define its hierarchy. From the lowly novices to the senior captains, each member plays a vital part in the Bratva's overall structure, contributing their unique skills and talents to the organization's success. And as we continue our journey, we will encounter even more fascinating characters, each with their own story to tell and their own secrets to share. The Bratva is a world like no other, a world of shadow and light, where loyalty and betrayal are constantly intertwined, and where the stakes are always high. As we delve deeper into the world of the Russian Bratva, we find ourselves at the pinnacle of power, where the highest-ranking members reside. The Pakhan, or boss, is the undisputed leader of the organization, wielding absolute authority and control. This is the individual who has risen through the ranks, earning the respect and fear of their peers, and has ultimately emerged as the supreme commander of the Bratva. The Pakhan's word is law, and their decisions are never to be questioned. To reach this echelon, one must possess a unique blend of intelligence, cunning, and ruthlessness. The Pakhan must be a master strategist, able to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that exist within the Bratva, as well as the broader world of organized crime. They must also be a skilled diplomat, capable of forging and maintaining relationships with other powerful figures, both within and outside of the organization. And of course, they must be willing to do whatever it takes to protect the Bratva's interests and maintain its power. As we explore the world of the Pakhan, we see a figure who is both revered and feared by their subordinates. They are the embodiment of the Bratva's values and traditions, and their leadership is often seen as a source of inspiration and motivation for the lower-ranking members. The Pakhan's power is not limited to their own organization, however, as they often have significant influence over the broader community, with many outsiders seeking to curry favor and gain their approval. They must constantly be on guard against threats from within and outside the organization, as rival factions and law enforcement agencies seek to undermine the Bratva's power. They must also navigate the complex and often treacherous world of international organized crime, where alliances are forged and broken with ease, and where the stakes are always high. And of course, they must contend with the ever-present threat of betrayal, as ambitious subordinates seek to overthrow them and take the reins of power for themselves. As we near the conclusion of our journey, we see that the world of the Russian Bratva is a complex and multifaceted one, full of intrigue and danger. From the lowly Novichok to the mighty Pakhan, each rank has its own unique characteristics and challenges. And yet, despite the many differences between them, all members of the Bratva are united by a shared code of loyalty and honor, a code that is both their greatest strength and their most significant weakness. As we reflect on the stories of the various Bratva members we have encountered, we begin to see a larger narrative emerge. We see a world that is both fascinating and terrifying, a world that is full of contradictions and paradoxes. We see a world where loyalty and betrayal are constantly intertwined, where the stakes are always high, and where the consequences of failure are often deadly. And yet, despite the many dangers and challenges that exist within the world of the Bratva, we are also drawn to its allure. We are fascinated by the sense of belonging and purpose that comes with being part of a larger community, a community that is bound together by a shared code of conduct and a common goal. We are drawn to the excitement and adventure that comes with being part of a world that is always on the edge, a world that is never boring and never predictable. As we come to the end of our journey, we are left with a sense of awe and wonder at the complexity and richness of the Russian Bratva. We are left with a deeper understanding of the intricate web of relationships and alliances that exist within the organization, and a greater appreciation for the many challenges and dangers that its members face. And we are left with a sense of respect for the individuals who inhabit this world, individuals who are often misunderstood and maligned by outsiders, but who are, in reality, multidimensional and fascinating characters. So what can we learn from the world of the Russian Bratva? We can learn about the importance of loyalty and honor, and the dangers of betrayal and disloyalty. We can learn about the value of community and belonging, and the need for a shared code of conduct. And we can learn about the complexities and nuances of the human experience, and the many contradictions and paradoxes that exist within us all. As we close this final chapter, we invite you to join us on a new journey, one that will take us deeper into the world of organized crime and the human experience. We will explore new stories, new characters, and new themes, and we will continue to examine the many complexities and nuances of the world we live in. So join us, and together, let us embark on a new adventure, one that will be filled with excitement, danger, and discovery. The world of the Russian Bratva may be fascinating and terrifying, but it is also a world that is full of lessons and insights, and one that can teach us much about ourselves and the world we live in.